Welcome to Worship Leader Hangout. My name's Chad. Today I'm going to show you guys a really inexpensive way to start recording your services. All right, let's go. So I like redundancy. I like having multiple ways to do a lot of different things in my life, especially when it has to do with the service, because you only get one shot. Well, unless you have multiple services. But still, for that service, you only get one shot. And I want to make sure when I record, if something goes down on maybe, say, our actual computer we record on, I want to be able to hit record on something else extremely quick without having to drag a bunch of stuff in and get it all ready. I want to just say, yes, done. At the same time, this makes a great video to show you guys how to start recording if you're not recording already. So let's go ahead and do that right now. You'll need a few things to start recording. You'll need some kind of audio, like USB interface. This one is the PreSonus Audio Box USB. It's a simple USB cable that goes from this box to your computer, and you have two channels you can record at the same time with this box. Great box. It's only about $100. I'll link it in the description below. You'll need the USB cable, obviously, that goes with your interface, and you'll need an XLR cable to run from your soundboard. And I'll show you how to hook all that up. That's all you'll need. All right, so I'm going to show you how to do this. Just go ahead and find you a place near your computer to start setting everything up. We're only going to record one line. It's a backup anyway, so we don't have to run two channels unless we just really want to. I'm going to come out of out number 1. Alright, so we're almost ready to start recording, but first we need to set up our mix bus. So I selected, I'm just going to select mix bus 11. Remember, we went into channel 1 in the back, so we got to make sure we're going output 1 is set to mix bus 11. And that's our audio 2 channel. I went ahead and named that. So let's go ahead and get set up. We'll change the color to green. Like I said, I already labeled that. So now we're ready to go. So if we want to take a lot of channels to this mix bus, on this particular board, the minus M32, we're going to select our mix bus, hit the send zone fader, this fader flip button, and then we're gonna set a decent mix for this mix bus. Now, like I said, this is a backup way to record, or this is a starter way to record. So you're gonna want to remember that as far as your mix. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but what you can do is get it as best as you can. You can listen with the headphones. So I'm just going to trust this for now, and I'll come back in with some headphones and check it later. And once you get your mix set exactly how you want it, go ahead and undo that flip. So now we're going to check the record and make sure we're getting audio from the mix bus 11 over here. All right, let's go to the computer. So now all the hardware's set up, the soundboard's sending all of our channels. Now it's time to test it out. So we got to set up a recording software. Good thing about Mac is it comes with Garageband. Yes, we're going to use Garageband because this video is about one of the cheapest ways to start recording. Yeah, you got to buy the audio box, but it's only like $100. But you have to have a Mac, so that's where it starts to get really pricey. Now, if you wanted to do the same thing but on a PC, you can still use the audio box, but you're gonna need a different recording software. You can get Studio One. I know has a free trial, or at least a free version of their software you can use. So maybe download that one. And there's probably others out there that you can try this on. It's going to be roughly the same idea as far as getting it set up to start recording. Especially when we're only recording one line, you can use just about anything that will accept the audio box USB interface. Now on your computer, let's go ahead and open up GarageBand. We're going to start a new project. An empty project is what it calls it. All right. This won't happen all the time. Just now it said, do you want to use audio box USB? The answer is yes, I want to use that. I will show you how to set this up if for some reason it doesn't ask you if you want to use this. All right, now it's asking me how many inputs do I want. I'm just using it to record audio. So I would check this one, and then input 1 is what we have our line running to on the actual audio box. If it for some reason doesn't connect the audio box to GarageBand, what you will have to do is click GarageBand, Preferences, Audio, and then, well, Audio MIDI, and then on your output, you can go, output, you can use your computer speakers or headphones from your computer. That's fine, and that's built-in output. But if you want to plug your headphones into the audio box and listen to what's actually being sent to it, you want to check audio box for your output, and obviously audio box for your input. Sometimes it will default to the built-in microphone. You will think it's recording, but it's not. So make sure your USB interface is selected on your device's input and output if you want it to be. So now we have everything set up. We're going to test it out using the master mic. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Okay, so I'm checking this right now, and what we're seeing here, as you can tell, it's gained up pretty hot. So I can take my gain down on, what is the name of this software? I can take my gain down on GarageBand, but I'm going to gain that back up to 0 and check my level on my board, and maybe I can gain that down a little bit on the board so that I'm not having to gain everything down just for this one channel. Check, check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Check, 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 check. 1 2 3 4. Check, 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 check. A little hot. Check, check. That's a lot better. So I want it to be right under that yellow. That's not too bad. You can kind of dial that in where you need to. We want it to be about -12 dB, at least something close to it, or what looks to be a roughly -12, -10 on here. But I'm not seeing an indication of what it actually is. I'm sure you can set GarageBand up in a way where you can see that a little bit better. But that's about where we want it. Check, 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 when we're talking pretty loud, because we don't want it to be too loud and start clipping and it would just sound horrible. You're going to want to check all your inputs on your board with GarageBand to make sure that nothing is gained up too loud. And this can be done doing the fader flip on the mix bus and literally just pulling down faders within your mix. Of course, if the entire mix is too hot, then just mix it a little bit lower. Think about -10 dB less than you normally do. Check, 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 check. All right, let's go ahead and hit record. Check, check, 1 2 1 2. There it is, guys. We are now recording. I'm gonna actually leave this in. I'm gonna put this in as the audio from this point on in the video so you can actually hear what it sounds like. So hypothetically, we went from not being able to record to recording audio, actually all 32 channels into one channel on GarageBand with just an audio box USB interface or any other USB interface. This is just one that I had in my office, and a Mac. It could be a MacBook, iMac. It doesn't matter. I mean, all of them usually have GarageBand. If you don't, it may be $5 at the most. From nothing to this, I mean, we're looking at, if you already have the computer, we're looking at like maybe $105 plus some cable, maybe $120 at the very most, assuming you already have a computer. Like I said, if you have a PC, you can use Studio One or another free software that you can find online. I believe Studio One 3, however they name that, Studio One 3, they have a free version that you can use. It's limited, but when you're looking at only recording one channel, what else do you need? I mean, that's perfect. So check that out. A lot of times the audio interface that you purchase will come with a recording software as well. AudioBox, PreSonus AudioBox, I think actually did come with Studio One, I believe. Studio One is a great a software to use. There's others, like I said. So don't be so picky as far as what you use. Just use what you can, or what you have, or what you already have. I mean, like I said, when we're recording everything into one channel, we gotta think of it as a backup way to record or a starter way to record, because it's only going to get better from here. If you look at the computer behind me, if you can maybe see a little bit of it, that's what we actually really record on. We use Logic. We run straight from the Midas board. It has a USB card on the back of it, and we just run straight to Logic on the iMac behind me, and we're able to record all 32 channels simultaneously with Logic and with this board, and it's really nice to have that. And there's probably better ways to record even than that, but there's definitely much less expensive ways that you can do as well. So Logic is about $200 plus the extra iMac to be able to do that. So you're looking at a lot of money to be able to multi-track. And I just want to get you guys set up on something. Especially if you don't have anything right now, I want you guys to get set up as cheap as possible just to get started with this. That's the whole point of this video anyway. To get started with recording. your services, your music, your message, that kind of thing. So yeah, I know that's a lot, but man, I really appreciate you guys watching this video. Hopefully you got something out of it. Hopefully you're now recording. Hopefully you're already ordering your USB interface online. Like I said, I have a few linked in the description below if you want to check those out, see if that's something that will work for you. If you want to stay up to date on all the videos that we put out, go ahead and click the subscribe button. And remember, great worship leaders are always learning. Have a great day. All right, cool. 20 minutes on the clock? Or 19 something now? Should be the top left, top right. That's okay.
4 minutes and 15 seconds as well.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious.
I forgot to delete the dag nabbit.